Yo, 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 yo. What do you do? It's RB22. Got my right hand man as always again, Harry at Ram and Call. What's up, my boy?
Lots to talk about this week. One snoozer, one game that I think probably I thought did very well despite coming up short, and then there's Austin, and lot to talk about on Austin. Lot to talk about on Austin for it here. San Antonio FC and USL 10 days away from kicking off, so we will be having that to discuss in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, I guess 2 weeks here. So looking
hmm
forward to that. So get to see the one team with the star on its badge. Be able to talk some footy for San Antonio. But how was your how was your week? It's been I saw you on what's it, We Are Austin. Afterwards, you were kind of one of the
Oh yeah.
calmer Austin FC fans. I'll just leave it at that. There were some pretty upset people coming out of Q2.
Yeah, no doubt. Um, well, before all that, all of Texas, Dallas, Houston, Austin, nobody got any points out of Texas this weekend. So that was kind of difficult to see. Nobody getting the points. I think everyone kind of looking ugly, letting the leads go. Uh, but yeah,
Houston did
after the
good. I
game,
thought Houston stepped up.
Houston. I
Yeah,
mean,
I watched the Houston match.
go ahead.
They're not as good. Um, but they've improved from last year. Um, Now, are they a playoff team? We'll have to kind of see if they make some more moves. But out of the three Texas teams, they were the one that looked the best out of their defensively killed Austin. I think offensively they were the best. Dallas was just, no offense to Sunshine and the guys that follow Dallas. They were trash. It was a snooze fest. I had it on trying to watch it, and it just wasn't an entertaining game for that here. Now the numbers look interesting, and we'll kind of go into that when we go into the Dallas match. And we'll start out with the as they appeared, if you want, starting with FC Cincinnati against Houston. Kind of go over there,
Mm.
and then the Dallas and Austin kicked off the same time. But really, obviously, I think you want to talk about the Austin FC match the most. So we probably should start with the other two matches and go from there.
No doubt. So, yeah, we'll just run it with Cincinnati, Houston.
So Cincinnati won 2-1. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're not aware, you can watch on YouTube here. Looking at SofaScore, the website here, it comes out the formation 4-2-3-1. Steve Clark in goal. Schmidt,
Which
Teenage
which I
Hobby,
was,
Ethan Barton.
hey, I would take that on the chin because I did say that Tarbell was going to be a starter for them. So go ahead, Steve Clark. Good stuff. Way to be a starter for them.
Although he was only rated 6.3, so not the highest. Franco Escobar on the right, in the middle. Hector Herrera, which had the assist on a corner. Artur, the other midfield here, and then up top they had Ivan Franco, uh, uh, Karscala, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. I'm horrible at it. Corey Baird and Sebastian Fiera up top. Um, to me, Cincinnati got on the board early in the. When did they score their goal?
The 19th,
Uh,
19th
where's it
minute.
showing? 19th minute. Right before half, Houston scored on a corner by Tate Schmidt on a nice ball from Hector Herrera. Unfortunately for Houston, any momentum they had coming out of the half was killed when Houston scored, or pardon me, Cincinnati scored. for Obanita Nwabo, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, scored in the 48th minute to get the 2-1, and then kind of held out from there. But to me, if you watch the game, and especially if you look at the stats, Houston had possession 62%, 19 shots, 7 on target, 7 off, 7 corner kicks to net is 0 for Cincinnati. Had 2 big chances, missed 1, 13 shots inside the box. They had 581 passes. So to me, for Houston, I thought that they played well, especially if you look at their shot chart. It was, they got shots. They were quality shots. They just unfortunately couldn't convert. And I think FC Cincinnati showed that they are one of the better teams in the East for that here. So we'll see how the season goes. But I think if you're a Dynamo fan, you're probably happy walking away. Out of the 3 teams that lost, you're probably the most happiest. Number 1, it was on the road. Number 2, you can kind of see what Ben Olsen's looking to do, for the team here. And obviously, I don't think this roster's as talented as Dallas or Austin at this time, but at least against the quality Cincinnati team, they stepped up and showed.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Any thoughts?
I'm pretty surprised myself looking at those stats. That's a pretty good possession by Houston. I guess that kind of tells us what their plan is for the season, what they want to do. So they're going to play probably that possession ball, which probably going to give Ferreira a lot more chances this season. So, yeah, hopeful. I'm sure that 2-1 doesn't speak for how well Houston played. So, especially I think besides Dallas, like you said, right, but Austin too, when we'll get into it. But, yeah, hopefully that scoreline looks different next week. Who do they take on this week?
You had to ask me that question. Hold on 1 second here.
Had to.
I know they're away. I want to say Revolution, New England Revolution, if memory serves me correct.
I think you could be right.
Saturday. I'm almost positive, but let me just double check.
Yeah, New England, 6:30.
Yeah, so 6:30. So they get the early kickoff away again, and then Austin and Dallas are home again. So that'll be interesting here. Here. Moving on to Dallas, Minnesota. I watched this game. It was a hard follow, especially if you're not a Dallas fan or a Minnesota United fan here. Dallas came out in a 4-3-3. Martin, was it pass or pass? I think it is.
I think they call it pass or something like in Pass Descansos.
Marco Farfan. Marco Farfan, Jose Antonio Martinez, Sebastian Igabaga from former San Antonio FC player, although I think he was the one that allowed the goal. Emma Tuazi, Paxton Pamakol, Quigon, Sebastian Leggett, Paul Ariola, Jesus Ferreira, and Alan Velasco up top. Minnesota got their goal right at, in the second half for their right as it kicked off at the 48th minute from Minder Garcia. It's kind of a rebound. Sebastian didn't stay with his man, and Minder got the goal because he was ahead of him. To me, Sebastian was trying to avoid the shot easily. That Minder kept going towards the goal, and it was rebounded out. And unfortunately, for Dallas gave up a goal. Stat wise here, 62% of the possession, 30-38, 11 shots, but only 1 on target, and that was the story of the game. Minnesota, 38, 8-4 on target, 5 off target, 5 shots off target, 9 corners. Kind of very similar to what Houston had, but to me the difference was Houston. You could at least kind of see an identity of what they were trying to, trying to do. Where Dallas, it was almost like possession without direction. It was like, yeah, we're going to pass the ball around, and they couldn't break down. I guess they couldn't break down. The Loons defense. To me, it just to me, when you only have one shot on goal and 62% of the possession, no big chances at all. No miss, no hitting the woodwork or anything along those lines. To me, that just the stats kind of back up with how how the game was played. They started out well because Paxton had a shot 5th minute, 17th minute, then 30th, 30th, 42, 67, and that was their 72, 82, 84, and then 90 plus 2. But it's especially for a team that was down, having all that possession. Where was the offense? And this is something that if you're an FC Dallas fan, you're probably a little bit concerned about, because when they went abroad to Spain, not a lot of goals through there. And to be honest with you, I'm a little concerned with San Antonio FC because they haven't scored a whole lot of goals. In MLS, if you're not getting shots on frame, if you're not putting goals in the net, you're not walking away with points. At home against a good Minnesota team, which is probably as far as a playoff contender. I think they're out west, right? Minnesota's out west.
Yep, they're west.
Yeah. So, to me, like I said here, it's dropped points. Obviously, 3 points dropped, but at no point did I think FC Dallas was coming back. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So, I was hoping that Sunshine would be able to hop on because I think he did go to the game. I think he said it was a snooze fest, like you said, but he's at a funeral, so sorry for his losses. And some thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. But yeah, Dallas. I didn't get to watch any highlights on them. I think I've had plenty of news to go around over here, so you know what I mean. So yeah, Dallas. Who do they got this weekend?
Dallas has LA Galaxy. Hold on 1 minute here. I'm trying to send.
That's gonna be tough.
Since
LA Galaxy.
Trying to send Sam the link. Sam may be hopping on, so we may come back and revisit Houston for that here. But now let me ask you a question here, because the Freeway Series got rained out for that last week. Do you think that's an advantage for Dallas where they played a game?
Oh yeah, I guess so, because this would be LA's first match, huh?
First match, because last week was rained out, and they're going to reschedule that match at the Rose Bowl for the 4th of July due to the flooding rain and cold. I guess it was miserable out there, and I guess parking around the Rose Bowl is not kind, no matter what no matter what time it is. So
yeah. No, that does suck for them, because I'm sure they were ready for that one. That was a pretty good matchup. That would have been first, match of the
70,000, yeah.
That would have been pretty badass. But I'm surprised it got rescheduled to a whole nother month. Like what, pretty much like 4 months away or something like that. So it's like LA coming to Dallas, not having played that first match. Yeah, they're gonna have to brush up a little bit. I'm sure they didn't have no preseason match or anything lined up because they were gonna play LAFC. So, for them to have that problem, it could be beneficial for Dallas. So, I see Dallas maybe getting the win on this one, at least a tie, at least a point, right?
They got to find some offense.
What's up, Sam? Sam, you there?
He's still thinking.
I don't know.
So, But we'll come back, to Sam here. But yeah, for Dallas, like said here, it's it's they've got a chance with the two LA teams not playing along those lines here. So it'll be interesting. Depending on if Sam connects through, we're gonna hop to Austin and
Austin.
The Kings of Q2.
Yeah.
St. Louis City. Congrats to them on the first win. Congrats to the Luligans. Congrats to the Sicily podcast. I've been supporting them since St. Louis FC years along those lines here. So I'll come out with the lineup, and I know this was kind of a sore spot for some Austin FC fans. Stuver.
Why? Who?
No ring?
Yeah, we knew Ring wasn't going to be there. Remember, I even said it. I said Wolf would be there.
No, I'm not saying you, but some Austin FC fans had issues with it.
Right. Okay. All right.
I'm not saying you, but there is a certain other person in our chat here that was unhappy about lineup decisions. That's in our chat that I believe works with you with the Vertibros. Flyer.
Yeah.
So you might discuss with him when you guys have your episode. But if you want to go over the lineup here.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead. You already started on it.
Oh, you can do it.
Okay, so yeah, we had Stuver in goal, which we knew that was going to happen. Zan Komanic, I think this game probably lost his starting position as we saw John Gallagher come on and just change the game up, really be influential for us. Leo Väisänen, Julio Cascante, Nick Lima. Julio Cascante, of course, we all know what happened to him in the 7th, 8th minute. Owen Wolf, Danny Pereira in the midfield. Sebastian Driussi playing as the 10. First game as captain. Diego Fagundes, Emiliano Rioni on the wings, and Yassi Zardes as your striker. And on the opposite side, we had Berkey. I can't really see those names. Let's see, because they're new team for me. Go ahead. Yeah, you probably know St. Louis a little more better than I do.
Berkey, Jacob Nowitzki, Tim Parker, who scored the first goal in St. Louis City history. So congrats to the former Dynamo player.
Ex-Houston guy, yeah.
Former Dynamo player. Kyle Hibbert, Josh Nelson, Edouard Lowen, Indiana Vasily, Rasmus Olum, Thomas Ostrak, fan favorite from Austin now, Jared Stroud. And to me, probably one of the big surprises, João Klaus, one of their big signings. As far as the battle of number 9s, I think St. Louis clearly won that battle.
Yeah, no, Klaus, to touch on Klaus, he really looked great. Physically and in person, dude. Just watching him, his presence, the way he was holding up the ball, the way he would distribute, it was really that dude. Man, he's something. I think he's gonna do well this season in the MLS
if he can stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as whoever stays healthy, right? But let's go ahead and touch on it real quick. Game recap real fast. We do go down 1-0. And what minute was that? In the 24th minute, Tim Parker scores a goal.
24th minute, Tim Parker, right?
Off of a corner kick. Sebastian Driussi ties the game up, 45th minute, 1-1 halftime. And then, like I said, John Gallagher comes in 68th minute and 72nd minute, 4 minutes after he comes on. Him and Diego Fagundes, link up right there in the on the left side. And Gallagher clinically puts that one away. He puts on the Rashford celebration, and it's 2-1. So at that point, I'm thinking that we're gonna turn it on. Then Jared Stroud scores on us in the 78th minute by a horrendous mistake by Kipp Keller. We'll touch on that here in a little bit. And then Klaus, like we were just talking about, that number 9 for St. Louis in the 86th minute. I was standing on the rails. I was above the goal, right behind the goal. So when I saw him touch it with the outside of his boot, I really thought that it was going out. And the way it just hit the post, and that the English that he put on the ball for it to go
World
in,
class.
it was just it was a nice finish. It was really nice. So St. Louis takes their first win ever in history and their first game ever in history. First away game, everything. So much happened that night for them, and it was just Austin was just front row for that one. So I know Harry was at home enjoying this one. I know he was like just hoping after he saw
Yes and no.
after you saw Jared Stroud, after you saw the Kipp Keller pass to Jared Stroud, you were like, all right, if St. Louis can pull this one off, that would be cool.
So, am I happy that Austin FC won or lost? Yes. If Austin FC lost every match, I would be happy. But I also felt really bad for Kipp Keller. And I think it showed in the post game where, and I hate to say this, but in my opinion, based on Wolf's kind of hanging him out to dry even this afternoon, in kind of a quote where he said, "Hey, when Cascante went out, we kind of lost 2 players." That's not, in my opinion, very positive for Kipp. Now, Kipp had a horrific match. Kipp, there's no excuse for it.
Josh Wolf said this. He's the one who said losing. So Cascante did get hurt in this game in the 8th minute.
He's out at least 8 weeks.
Yeah, and Jared Stroud's goal did come off of a back pass by Kipp Keller, our defender, passed it to Jared Stroud and scored the goal for him. You got it?
So, yeah, I got it queued up here. Hold on.
This guy.
And this is courteously of. Well, I got the goal, the chip as well. I try to be balanced.
All right, so there's Kipp pushing up, licks back. There's Jared Stroud calling for the ball. So what do you think? Did he call for the ball?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that he at least had the hand movement.
Look at how Jared Stroud looks. He looks like he just stole or did something to his best friend, man. I'm not saying that Kipp's his best friend, but the look that he gives him, he just betrayed him. Look at that pass, like it's nothing. Kipp too, man. Kipp has got to be more humble than that, and more professional. Dude.
Here's my problem with Kipp. The back pass alone, you're already a good 15, 20 yards away from the 18 here, and you keep going up. Why not pass it over here or through here? Why try to go all the way back? That's where he gets in trouble.
But even the pass, it's just so so relaxed. It's like he's passing to his teammate.
And then here's my question for you. Here's my question for you. You were at the match. You've been in Q2 Stadium. It's loud.
Super loud.
So do you think Stroud was able to verbally say something? I wondered if there was kind of a code word. I didn't play soccer. When I grew up, it was American football, and I wrestled in the small town where I grew up in Colorado. Do you think Austin FC, or you think that they had kind of code words or something where a voice reflection? But I don't know if he could hear him because he was still fairly far away, right? It's not like he was right next to him. And this is where 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 the supporter groups are for Austin, right? So it's even louder.
Yeah. You there, Sam?
Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, I'm there. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But yeah, man. So that was just horrible on Kipp Keller's part, of course. But bouncing back from this one, I mean, what do you guys think? Does Wolf need to punish this guy? As he said, it's like losing two defenders. Is I mean, because that's what he's implying. He's implying that Kipp Keller pretty much is not doing well right now. Like he's not there mentally right now.
Well, Wolf's
Do you
got
think he
something
could come
going
back
on.
on the pitch though?
I think so. I mean, I think that he should start next match. But I mean, yeah, go ahead, Sam. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, you got all this stuff happening with Wolf. You have mine right now, and so it makes me wonder if something's going on in that background. Maybe because Romania was the one he was like pissed about what that he Wolf called him out for not being in shape.
Yeah,
Called him
I did
fat.
see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if there's something going on in that back, maybe there's. I mean, like you said, I think Kip Keller starts next match. But if you're calling out, you're
Well, he's not starting. There's no way he could. I don't even think he's in the 18. You don't say you lost two defenders and then turn around and put him in the. I don't even think you put him in the 18.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, and this goes both to RB and Sam. If you have a player that 99% of the fans blame for the loss, do you put him back on the field? Because Kipp took a lot of heat, last match, and deservedly so. Now, I personally don't think he was responsible for all three goals. I know he was involved in all three goals. The first goal, I think you could have put on Stuver for not coming out and clearing the ball for that here. The third goal, I have big issues with because Kipp raced across the side. Leo, if you watch his run, and I got it queued up here, he pauses, he doesn't attack, and then he goes away from the ball. Where to me, he needs to come in to be able to provide support. So where Kipp's running to cut him off, and then the guy, Klaus cuts back. If 15, Leo is there, it makes that shot right there. But instead, he goes to the other side of the goal, which leaves it wide open. I think that's a team goal because that was lost way up in midfield, and it was a great pass through by St. Louis City. So yeah, the second goal, there's no excuse. There's just that's stuff that you don't even do in middle school. But to me, the Austin FC fans, you're on we are Austin, or and I'm sure if you've watched it or listened to their podcast. Fans were not kind. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, not at all. They're pissed. They're still pissed. A lot of people want him to get moved down to Austin FC 2, which I think that he maybe should have started there in the first place and got some playing time, not as skill-wise, but just got playing time. And like you said in text, in a group chat, maybe he should have got some USL time last season, which wouldn't have been a bad idea.
That's the key to me. Austin FC did not, because he didn't get a lot of minutes last year. Loan him out, because and to be fair, Austin FC didn't have a MLS or a MLS Next Pro team. They could have loaned him out to whether it's a USL League One, USL Championship. I'm assuming they could have loaned him out to another MLS Next Pro team. I'm assuming there would have been some sort of mechanism to be able to do that. Now, I think they would have went to USL League One at the time just because there was that relationship. But to me, him not getting the minutes last year and then having to step in a key situation, game 1, 10 minutes in, just it just snowballed for the kid. And like I said here, I think and this is where, to me, there's the ring situation. There's the center back, what's his name, that was loaned out. That's obviously not coming back now.
Romania.
We'll call them Amanias. And then this situation here, you had, who was it? I think it was your boy. It was either Diego or Pereira that came out and supported Kipp, saying, "Hey, we're all a part of a team." It was on one of those. I think it was on the Los Verdes, thing that I can pull it up if I have to. But he came out saying, "Hey, Diego. He's part of the team." Diego, he's part of the team. We're here. We're going to support him. And then to me, Wolf coming back out isn't a sign of support. So how do you have that mixed message from the players, and then you have the mix compared to the coaches? That's what worries me. And in our text, I kind of put out there as like, how long does the Fire Wolf chants or Fire Wolf people come back out of the woodwork? Because winning masked a lot last year, because he was on the hot seat going in. Austin FC had a great year, made it, finished second in the West. I think they finished second in the West and made it to the Western Conference Finals. They had a great year, but game 1, against an expansion team, and how they performed, the offense performed great. The defense, to me, even with Kipp, there were holes in that defense. St. Louis was very unlucky, in my opinion, not to be up 2-0, because they did have a goal that was took away due to a foul. That, was it a foul? Yes, but was it a soft foul? In my opinion, it was. But
that's how the game was. So.
Yeah. So to me, and I know you guys got Montreal this week.
Yeah, I got Montreal.
Who also lost, and then you guys go on the road. So to me, we're going to find out about Austin a lot sooner than I think people realize, as far as, is there locker room issues, and is did Coach Wolf, unfortunately, cross a line, with the players. What do you think? You're an Austin FC fan. How do you have, your boy Diego come out and defend Kipp, and then I think it was either later on in the day or next day, Coach come out and kind of counteract with what Diego was trying to do?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say, because a lot of people don't really follow all these guys or have Instagram or have Twitters and all that, all of our listeners. So to put it into, I guess, context for you guys, into perspective, Josh Wolf did come out and say that Romania was a liability, that they had spent countless time on him, trying to prepare him, and that he would show up to preseason not ready to perform, and this and that, and then he took off. Romania took off on loan, and now Josh Wolf comes out with that, and Romania posted a picture on Instagram. I guess he's trying to show off his 6-pack that he has. So
6-pack. I don't have that 6-pack.
Yeah, but like somebody said on Twitter, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're fit just because you have a 6-pack. So I think it was Kevin Morris. So,
which is valid. It's a valid point. Yes.
Yeah, it is, because that's ridiculous. So to your point with Diego coming out about Kipp, I don't know if there's anything going on in the locker room with everyone, right? But it is very clear that Romania and Wolf had a problem. Pochettino and Wolf, they had a problem. Who knows if Redes and Wolf have a problem? And now the question's starting to come out: do Ring and Wolf have a problem? Because he's not starting. He took his captain armband away. So it's a question. It's a fair question too. What's going on in the locker room? And to my knowledge, if there is something going on in the locker room, it can't be that big because I still see them united. I still see them doing stuff together. I still see the small stuff that you want to see. So I'm not too worried about it. They
But
can
you see that on the team level. The team level, though. The team level, you see that. Hey, Sam, we kind of touched base on Cincinnati, Houston. Did you want to kind of chime in and go over your thoughts of the game? Because I went through the lineup and kind of the scores, and from what I remember watching the game, I thought it was a pretty entertaining game where Houston kind of controlled it, especially coming off last year. They actually looked like a decent team. Got a goal right at the half, and then unfortunately gave up a goal to Cincinnati right after the half broke, and unfortunately, couldn't capitalize on the momentum of the goal right at the 45+2 going into half by Tate Schmidt.
Yeah, so I was there, so I didn't pay attention to the game because I was focusing on everything around me, but I was in. I was more pissed. And can you hear me still?
Mm-hmm.
I was more
a little bit.
In the moment. I was more like pissed about more of how we were handling the game. Yeah, we had possession, but it felt like we were just playing with it in the back, and I think that was the main thing throughout the game. It felt like we couldn't get out of the back, and then when we did have it out of the back, it felt like we played a lot with it at the top of the box. We couldn't. We were in their final third, but we couldn't do anything with it. And it wasn't just that we weren't doing anything with it, but then we're one pass away and we're making that last final mistake, or we're not shooting when we need to. There were a couple chances. I know there was Baird had a chance in the second half where he could have passed it to Coco if he had waited a little longer or even taken a shot, but instead he just rushed it and passed it straight to, I think it was Mosqueda or something like that. But it was a 2-on-1 and he just messed up a whole opportunity. And I think the whole thing what people are pissed about is I think it was good. A lot of people individually were trying to do a lot of different things, but I think people are trying to do too much. When you're trying to do something new with a new system, I think that's going to happen no matter what. It's just part of when you're in a new system, you're just trying to make the right decision. But I think if you start making those decisions quicker, and I feel like Coco especially suffered. Coco, like, there were a couple times where he had options right out on the wing and he just hesitated and it slowed down the whole attack of play. And then that goes straight into, I know a lot of people had complaints about Achachi even though he had that assist. And the complaint was that Corey Baird and Sebas didn't get any service from him. Ivan Franco got plenty of service, but it was Achachi wouldn't feed either Sebas or Baird. Sebas had, I think, 2 touches in the box. And then Baird got pulled off around the 70th minute and he touched the ball, I think, like 5 to 10 times. I said, and it's just right when Quinones got on, him and Achachi were connecting immediately. So I don't know if it's whether there's no trust between the two or just maybe Achachi has more confidence, or maybe if Baird wasn't making the right runs. But I think the main thing I saw from this game is maybe it was the first game. It was a tough atmosphere, but it's that we were hesitant to like do anything with the ball. We were trying to get it set up perfectly, and I think there was a lot of because of that. I think there were a lot of chance missed, and then a lot of times we did have those good chances and we just missed them. There was a sitter that Thor missed, and then I think we also got unlucky. That second goal, I think, was unlucky. Came off a rebound, hit a hand. I think we were unlucky not to at least walk away with the point, and I think that handball could have been 50-50, but I think it's not clear and obvious to overturn. But I'm happy with that performance. We I can see what we're doing, and that's the first thing. That's the first time I can say that I know what our style play is gonna be, because I don't think we've had a real style play since Coyo or Cabrera, because Cabrera, Wilmer, his style play was, I don't know if you even call it style play, it was more just counterattack and just take advantage of what you have. But yeah, I think it was a good game, and I think it's something we can build on, but there's definitely a lot of questions going into the next game.
Yeah. How was your trip up there?
Yeah, it was good. We arrived around like Friday night, and then so in the morning I went on this like bus tour. It was like a free tour, and then after we met up with El Batallon at O'Malley's in the alley, and then from there we walked, and then it was good. We went into the game, like first 45 minutes were chill, and then there was a little problems with security, but because they didn't want us hanging up our banners, and so they got into an argument with that, and then the last 4 or 5 minutes were chill, but security was trying to keep El Batallon like down tight, like um one of they like there was this guy who was heckling us, and people started yelling at him, and then security gate security came over, and it was a whole problem. But besides that, everything was good. I think the main thing what people are pissed about, I don't know if you saw this, but El Batallon and a couple other people posted
The
about,
team.
yeah, about the team not coming over to give a clap or anything. Like, we thought maybe Arthur was walking around for a little bit, but there was just not one single clap. They didn't even look our way, and I think that pissed a lot of people off, because I know I was fortunate enough to get a good ticket for like real cheap, to be able to go to the game. But I know a lot of people came. They arrived on Saturday in the morning, around like, actually not in the morning, the afternoon. They got there like 2 or 3, Cincinnati time, and then they left out after the game Sunday morning. So I know a lot of people sacrificed to get to that game, and they were in and out. And then for the Dynamo not even to say anything, even a clap or even look in our direction, was, I think it was more disappointing, because it's no acknowledgement. I know people will say it's like it's not about you, it's about the team, but you come all that way, you expect at least some acknowledgement.
No, it's a good point, man. I mean, yeah, of course, you go that far, you would hope that at least they would be like, "Hey, thank you for coming this far to support me." I mean, shit. Oh well, if you lost, if you won, okay, yeah, give us. But even if you lose, I mean, I'm sure you guys were loud, giving them support, singing y'all's chants the whole game. So yeah, that sucks. I didn't see that, so that's unfortunate to hear that happened, man. I'd probably be pissed too if I had went somewhere that far, traveled, sacrificed. 'Cause I know what it is to travel. I'm sure some people have kids. You got stuff
Well,
going
just the
on.
money
Everyone has something
aspect
going
of it.
on. Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, imagine how much what you can buy with all that money that you spend going to a game, all that time that you
Probably talking
spend
about,
going to a game.
if you're flying up, you're probably estimating probably what, $1,000 for that trip. By the time you
Yeah.
add
Yeah, it was around there with
flight,
flights and everything. I think flights were actually, I got lucky. I got a cheap flight, but it wasn't a cheap trip.
Yeah. Didn't expect it
so
to
my
be.
question is, TQL Stadium. How does it compare? To the stadiums here in Texas. Obviously, it's one of the newer stadiums, kind of like Q2 along those lines. Compared to the Dynamo Stadium or the one up in Frisco. But kind of your thoughts on TQL Stadium and the environment from FCC. Just in general. Obviously, you're from Houston and kind of have it from that view, but just a general view of the environment. I think we
Sam, you
lost
still
him.
there?
He's like, I don't want to talk about the stadium.
Shout out
All right,
Adi.
so
So don't blame them for being pissed. Can you put it up there? So
yeah,
don't blame them for being pissed. Cincinnati is not close. The team owes the fans at least that. Yeah, man. I mean,
I don't care if you go to Frisco, if you go to Houston, if you come to San Antonio. If fans are traveling, acknowledge them. It takes it's our biggest frustration here at the USL level and RGV, San Antonio, El Paso. We've expressed our frustrations a little bit when that happens when we make the trip out and the team doesn't just acknowledge. And obviously USL level there's 5-10 of us maybe compared to probably a couple of hundred that make the trip most likely for an MLS side here for that here. So but standing wise here out east here, let me put this back up here. Out east, take this away here. Philadelphia, Inter Miami, Nashville. Although Nashville has the hardest street supporters group, I guess. DC United, Atlanta, Cincinnati, New England, who Houston plays. Orlando, Chicago Fire didn't play for that here. I think it's because there's an odd number of teams in the league. Toronto, Charlotte, Red Bulls, Montreal, who Austin plays, NYC, New York City, and Columbus. Columbus is the one that took the biggest L on the week, outside of Colorado. Seattle, St. Louis, second, Salt Lake, Minnesota, Portland. The two LA teams were rained out, as we discussed at the top of the show. Austin, Houston, San Jose, Vancouver, Dallas, Kansas City, and the worst performance of the opening weekend has to be the Rapids. My Rapids just laid a huge egg playing up in Seattle for that here, where they didn't even show up. They've got some injuries with some of their star players, but it was bad along those lines here. This week here, we got FC Dallas hosting LA Galaxy in the first match. We got Houston Dynamo traveling to New England Revolution. And then we have Austin FC hosting CF Montreal. I put together a little sheet here. Only two of us have responded for that here as far as the group here. I put that, let's see here. Let me go to the responses here.
Yeah, so I do want to touch on, before we get too far, I do want to touch a little bit still on some Austin. Sam, actually, Harry had a question for you. He wanted to know how, what was it called? TLC?
Oh, TQO.
TQL Stadium.
Te quiero. TQ. How was it, Sam? How was the stadium over there compared to Q2 and the track and field that they have over there in Frisco?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a change for me because I'm used to Dynamo Stadium. It's all all together. It was I've never walked like 5 different flight of stairs just to have to walk 3 more flight of stairs to get all the way up. But it was a nice stadium. It's in the middle of downtown, in the middle. There's a park next to it. It's like what kind of you see in Europe where people walk into the streets. It feels exactly like that. But yeah, it was nice. I didn't really walk around or explore too much because they had this in the area. But it was nice. They had, the food was a little overpriced, but that's what comes with the stadium. But other than that, it was a good atmosphere. And I think Cincinnati actually had a nice atmosphere, but they got drowned out sometimes. There were times when the stadium was just dead silent, no matter what. It was just all you could hear was that one dude who was hitting that one drum, and that's all you could hear.
Yeah. So, have you been to Q2 before, Sam?
No, I've only been to the Dynamo Stadium, NRG, and then TQL.
Got you. Oh, so this was a big thing for you, huh? This was a good trip.
Yeah.
First time. There you
It's
go.
my first time being to like in a different stadium that's not the Dynamo Stadium.
Hell yeah, bro. That's cool, man. Shoot. I've been to your stadium, I've been to Dallas, and that's pretty much it. Still got to travel. I think we're gonna go to Kansas this year, maybe Kansas City. I want to go to St. Louis too. Now that they beat us.
St. Louis would be a nice trip. It's supposed to be a nice downtown stadium as well.
Yeah.
I know some people from the Surge gonna go to the St. Louis game. A couple.
Yeah. So you guys actually go to New England, or do you? Yeah, you guys go to New England. Um, let's preview that New England match. Who do you think is going to be your starting lineup for that, and how do you think they're going to do?
Yeah, so I think he's gonna keep it somewhat the same. It depends on where Bassi is, but if we're assuming that Bassi's back, I think that depending on how the week goes with how he develops, I think maybe Bassi stays on the bench. But let's assume Bassi's healthy. I'm gonna put him on the bench. I'm gonna start Sebas at the top. I'm gonna make Quinones go on the right, and then I gotta have Franco on the left, and then Karaski at my cam, and then Ache and Archer can stay in the midfield, and then the D line is where things get kind of interesting. So I think for sure Hadebe and for sure Schmidt has to stay. But where it gets interesting is that right line is Ethan Barlow had a lot of mistakes. He had a couple passes. He passed it like 3 different times to Brenner, and Brenner just kicked the ball right over the net. But I don't know if I got trust in him. And then Escobar's the one who missed that he missed the wide open. He missed the tackle that led to the goal. He was involved in both goals. It was his guy who started and brought into the box, who for the first time he just missed a tackle, and then the second goal he just didn't step. So I think for me the only option is Stairs. I'm gonna put Stairs at center back, and if he needs to, he can probably cover right back because he played right back the other day. But I think with Escobar coming off of injury, if he still doesn't feel 100%, maybe start Dorsey. And so you maybe have a back line of Hadebe, Stairs, Schmidt, and Dorsey. But for me, I think you just keep Escobar and just put in Stairs for Barlow.
All right, man. Yeah, shoot. That sounds like a pretty good breakout. I mean, a pretty good breakdown of who could start. Some Tarbell, right? Tarbell and goal.
Nah, let's pass on that.
Come on, man. You gotta
I
have
mean,
some
Clark-
Austin in there.
Clark did play terrible, bro. That he just couldn't get out the back. So we'll see.
Yeah. And Tarbell, he is used to that system already. He has been in it, so. But yeah, moving forward, we got no Dallas, obviously, and so Austin does host Montreal. Like we were talking about, they did lose to Miami. They traveled to Miami, I believe. It was in Fort Lauderdale, so they lost that. They do have an injury, I believe, that they're dealing with, just like us with Cascante. Cascante, he is out for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, and
At
he will
least.
be reevaluated in 8 weeks. So at least 8 weeks for Cascante. That is horrifying news if you're an Austin FC fan, because our center back depth, I thought on every preseason from now on, I'm gonna have to put myself in the reality check, because every time I say our depth is good, man. You know, like I feel confident in our depth. Out of nowhere, dude, it just no, our depth is not there.
Austin FC felt, because going into camp, defense was the concern, right?
Mm-hmm. Center back.
Because center backs was the concern. Magically through camp, we're like, okay, hey, we lost what, 2 or 3 of them, right? I think that either transferred or loaned out, and then all of a sudden they brought in they brought in replacements. One didn't even suit up in the 18, right? Because Coach Wolf said that he's still trying to catch up. Leo was the other one, which did okay. I'm not as high on him as the ratings here. But to me, Austin's weakness has always been their back line, their center backs. And I think for Austin FC fans, they drink the juice. They ate the cheese, as we say here in San Antonio. And yeah, that's the weak spot, and that's not a good spot to have your weak spot is the middle of your defense.
Yeah, not at all. So also we got, like we're talking about, some locker room issues. Wolf starting over Ring. I think that Wolf, as
how do you think
Josh Wolf, he did okay to me. I mean, a lot of people are calling for his name, saying that he didn't do too well. I think that he did okay. I think Ring is a little bit more silent in games. A lot of people love to go and grab the stats every time. But I think that those stats do go a ways, right? But you can just tell a player sometimes whenever they got it, or they're going to be that person that can give you those magic moments. And I feel like Wolf is getting to that point where him and Ring are almost similar in skill, and Wolf still has a higher ceiling that he can hit. Now, should
there's more
Ring
upside for him?
Right, there's more upside, but now should Ring maybe start more and I guess give us more experience on the field? That's where I would like to have the experience at, right? Is in Ring, right there. But as for the skill and what he brings to the table and all those other objectives, I think that Wolf is our guy. So moving forward, if they're going to save Ring for CONCACAF Champions League, then do it, right? Then fine, do it.
I don't think they're saving him for that. I think he starts as a center back this week.
Starts as a center back? I don't think so.
Yes, that's what they're talking about. If Kipp's not starting there, they're talking Ring, Lima.
We got Emerald Tarek.
They said Ring, Lima, and then people said Lundqvist.
I doubt it. I mean, these are people on Twitter. These are people, just throwing stuff on the wall and seeing.
Yeah, these are the same people.
As people like to say.
Ring has played center back though. Ring has played center back.
That's fine. That's fine that he's played center back, but we have another center back. That's the thing. We have another center back. Yeah, Emerald Tarek. So I think the Emerald Tarek gets the nod. Okay, we heard that Kipp Keller probably had plans, and if Emerald Tarek isn't cutting it by, let's say, halftime, so Wolf starts, Ring's on the bench. If Tarek isn't cutting it by halftime, we probably see a swap. We probably see, but I don't think Ring starts as a center back at all. Zero chance.
I think it's above zero.
Nothing, Harry.
I think it's above zero. I don't know. I'm just letting you know that the discussion online, which is where I kind of pick up a lot of this stuff, Ring is a candidate, as well as Nick Lima, who's on the outside.
Dude,
the ideal is
people will say that. Who told me? Somebody told me the other day who should start. I think Gallagher. Gallagher should be center back, and it's like, why? Like,
well, these are the same people I saw in the Austin mentions. People are asking how the Stroud goal wasn't offside. So these are the same people.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
To be fair, it's if you don't follow the match and you're like, okay, hey, they call offsides for a fraction of a fraction, and then this guy's 5 yards. Like, I don't think anybody expected Stroud to still be that far back. I even responded to somebody. I was like, well, because Austin FC passed him the ball. It did not. They played the ball to him. So
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be Stuver. We get Gallagher on the left. We get Vicenen, and then we get Amro Tarek in there. I would like to see it happen. I mean, it has to sooner or later. Why not happen now? Nick Lima's still gonna have his right back position. Owen Wolf, Danny Pereira. Danny Pereira with a phenomenal game. I think he had a game high, or I don't know if it was his high or if it was the high of the game. But most passes last game for Danny Pereira. How many passes did he have? Like 65 out of 71.
65 out of 71.
So, yeah, look at that, 21 out of 24. Damn. Yeah, Diego Fagundes got to get more involved too next game. He wasn't that active. I mean, he was active, but kind of quiet in a sense. Wasn't really Diego Fagundes' ways. But we'll have Sebastian Driussi. We'll have the same lineup besides Julio Cascante, and that's going to be Amro Tarek.
Here's my question to you. We haven't talked about him because he's missing in action just like he was on Saturday night. Zardes, do you put Maxi in or Will Bruin, or are you still rolling
That's
with
a good question.
Zardes?
That's a good question. We'll probably go with Will Bruin was on the bench. I mean, we had 3 strikers last game, and Maxi came on. You know what?
Late at the 88th minute.
Maxi, man, it wouldn't be a bad idea to start Maxi next game. Would not be a bad idea.
Zardes didn't do anything. He had 23 touches, 10 to 17 passes, so 59%. 2 shots off target, but I don't even remember him taking really any 9 possessions lost.
There was one cross from Rigoni that came to him across the face of goal, and all he had to do was tap it in. But he was offsides anyways, so wouldn't have mattered.
Your thought on Rigoni? Because I remember last match here, that was your kind of let me see how he does. So did he pass the RB test or TBD?
Opening minutes, man. He gets a pass from Driussi, opens up wide, and with his right boot tries to make a cross and just right into the defender. And I'm like, God dang it! Like, come on, dude, get a cross off. So I'm still hopeful. I still want to see more from Rigoni. I think that he's still a little shy. I still think that he still needs to break that barrier, still get a little bit more acclimated to the MLS, play a few more games, and just get a feel for it a little bit more. I think he'll be okay. I may have been over exaggerating with how many goals I called, but yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, so that's my starting lineup for Montreal. I think that we'll take it. Let's say 3-1 against Montreal. If you guys got any takes on the Austin game, on the preview for Montreal, go for it, and then we'll just go ahead and hop into a score prediction for Sam's Houston side.
So in our little check to see how we do, I've got Austin winning. I've got Dallas and Dynamo both getting a point this week here. I am a little worried about Austin just because I don't know if there's locker room issues yet, but it seems like it's bubbling under the surface. And if Austin FC doesn't turn it around quickly, you could really see them start to bubble. But I do think they get by Montreal because it's at home. And if they can get the win here, travel away, get the win in CONCACAF, then when they come back, that's 2 wins and hopefully good performances to where the fan base has calmed down a little bit and it's a more level-headed discussion when you're talking with Austin FC fans.
Yeah, hopefully, and let's hope that it happens, man. Let's hope that Austin can get this up.
I think
You think what? Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Harry. I think they'll get a point. I don't know if about a win with everything that's going on in that back line, but I think because I know Wolf, I know that's a lot of people's complaints that he doesn't adjust in game. He's stubborn with his lineup, and so I think if he doesn't change it up, that maybe you guys get a point. But just gonna go with it's gonna be like 1-1 or 2-2, and I'm just gonna go with a tie.
I'll take it, man. Honestly, I mean, we need some kind of positivity going, something going. So I'll take a tie to get the ball rolling.
Tie won't fly. You know that.
Not for most fans.
6 points. You figure at the start of the season, your Austin FC fans is thinking they're walking away with 6 points.
Yeah.
If they walk away with 1, I don't think that flies. What about Houston, New England? Who you got?
I just want to end on the Austin real quick. We could see a completely rotated lineup because of CONCACAF Champions League coming up on Tuesday, which is 3 days right after this match. Then we have another match next Saturday. We have 5 matches in 20 days. So and traveling, a lot of travel.
Your March is loaded, yeah.
Yeah, so we could see a rotation this Saturday, and like I said, with the rotated squad, I'll take a draw.
And I mean,
I know you got Dynamo New England.
I know Harry has said this like eventually that Austin are gonna have one of those years where support like you finally have a bad year and that's gonna finally show how the club's gonna like we always talk about attendance. You think if the club like Austin themselves, let's say it stays the same, they just keep losing, like they place 13th. What do you think happens?
I mean, we already did. We already placed 13th.
Yeah, but
we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but we'll see.
But Austin won't finish.
We got to finish there first. Yeah, we got to finish there first, and then see. Because I mean, it's one game. I'm not even worried about it.
It's still an event to go to Austin FC matches. It's still an event.
It will be, and it will be for a while to come.
I think you got to probably look at that maybe year 4, year 5, or they're year 3 right now, and then last year getting into the Western Conference Final, that kind of pushed that time back. Now I say that for the attendance. I don't say that for Coach Wolf. I think those are 2 separate things.
Yeah. All right. So New England and Houston. What do you think, Sam? Score prediction.
I think we come out with the. I mean, I saw how they played. I saw the highlights against Charlotte. They didn't deserve a win. At least I think they got lucky at the end with that. They just had a nice finish right there. They were tweeting about it, how they stole the game in front of 69,000 people. So I think it's manageable to win, but there's gonna be some weather conditions. But I think we'll pull through, and I think it'll be 2-1.
All right, Harry, what do you think?
I got a draw.
Draw. I think I had them losing that game. I think New England. Losing. Yeah, I think New England's gonna.
I think the only reason I say win, and I would have said a draw, but we beat them 3-0 last year, and I feel like their roster hasn't changed that much, so I'm more relying on the fact that we've gotten stronger. At least I think. I know some people like Victor from the striker he said he disagrees, and that was one of the things that was an argument on Twitter earlier. He hopped on Glenn Davis's show and basically started saying that he doesn't think that the roster's stronger. He thinks they just put new names, but I think that's a whole different story. But I think
the starting lineup is stronger. I don't know if the depth is so. And then FC Dallas and Galaxy, it's the Galaxy's first match after being rained out. I have it as a draw. So between the 3 Texas teams, I picked 5 points RB, it looks like you did not go with FC Dallas either. So
3 points for Texas this week.
You're going with 3 points.
3 points, yeah.
Hey, it's more than we got last week. Sam, your prediction for FC Dallas and the Galaxy?
I gotta go for a draw. I don't know. Dallas can't seem to get anything started, and I think the Galaxy, with everything that's happening, I think they're gonna settle for a draw too.
All right, man.
I think them not playing a match definitely benefits FC Dallas this week.
100%, man, because it's gonna be interesting to watch that one, because Galaxy's gonna come out they're either gonna come out flat or they're gonna come out ready to go. I don't think there's no in between for Galaxy, and then Dallas is the same story. So they're gonna come out flat, ready to go. But you got anything else, man?
And then the Fire also starts off this week. No, my final thought, like I said here, if you haven't had the opportunity to watch the Apple Plus MLS 360, it was entertaining. I thought the commercials were a little aggravating for here. Especially more of the red zone where basically they cover the action and there's no commercials. And this is soccer, so normally you don't have commercials. But I thought for an opening week it was pretty good. There was a big trade for Austin FC2 that traded for an international spot. So that was earth-breaking news. But no, to me, like I said here, lots of action coming up here for for Texas Ring of Fire here starting in 2 weeks, where we'll have 6 teams to kind of briefly discuss. Obviously, the main focus will probably be the MLS clubs, but RGV, San Antonio, and El Paso will be kicking off through there. Did want to also make mention, because I'm sure there's a lot of people just like in San Antonio and that are up in Austin, from Corpus Christi FC. They play in USL League 2. They have a 5,000 seat stadium soccer complex that the stadium portion is set to possibly be completed by the start of next year. So they'll be on the lookout possibly for Corpus Christi to make the move from League 2, which is kind of the summer semi-pro league, possibly up to League 1, USL League 1. For that here, that's just me kind of reading the tea leaves when they made this announcement for the stadium, which was pre-COVID. For that here, and then COVID kind of delayed things, but they've already broke ground. The city, the team said the city's already approving permits and stuff. So kudos to the city of Corpus Christi. Would be nice to have another professional team here in the state of Texas to be able to cover. And of course, if Corpus does come on, we most likely would talk about them a little bit here.
Yeah, of course, and we'd probably go. Who would want to go to a game in Corpus?
So
hopefully
I went and saw at Whataburger Field. I want to say it was Houston Dynamo played. I forget which team, but at Whataburger Park. This was 2011-ish. For here on the baseball stadium. So yeah, I went down with the Crocketeers, and it was a fun time. And Corpus is, especially from San Antonio, is hour and a half or so down the freeway, depending on how slow you go for that here. So, but yeah, it would be a nice Open Cup trip for that here. And like I said here, of course, the entire state wants to beat Austin in Open Cup to keep them winless, but that's my little dig at Austin, and so I have one per show, and I waited an hour and 15 minutes.
You gotta love Harry, guys. That's why I got him. He's funny guy. Sam, man, you got anything else to say, brother? No, Sam, you good?
Like an FC Dallas fan, nothing to say.
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, before I log off, I know nothing really big, but the Dynamo, I don't know if I already talked about this it came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. We're signing on loan someone for our Dynamo 2. Yair Gonzalez from Argentinos Junior. It looks like that has something to do with the Vera deal.
Mhm.
I won't go too much into that, but he has like one goal in like the tier 2 of Argentina. But it looks like another developmental player. And then there were some updates on the stadium. They finished the stadium with the seating, and then people were wondering how it was going to be with the that new club they were making, because the whole thing is there was only going to be a small hallway to go through, but it looks like they changed it. Now the stadium, you're going to walk outside. There's going to be like a portion that will just go like around the stadium, around the outside. So that's a change. And then the last thing is like something random went on. I don't know if the Dynamo Twitter admin is just tweaking or something, but now he posted this random thing, just um basically supporting a random Spanish team. I think it was Club Atlético Osasuna, and wishing them luck in their like Copa del Rey. I don't know if anything's going on there, but it was just random. So, but that's all I got.
All right. Yeah. No, it should definitely. I mean, you don't want something to happen from Osasuna, and then you'd be like, man, I should have said something. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's noted, man. All right. Well, good luck to you, Harry, in Dallas this weekend. Good luck to Houston, New England, and good luck to my Verde here in Austin. We're
You need
able to
it.
get out there. Yeah, I do need it. We were able to get out last weekend and do a little tailgating. I was busy cooking, or else I promise I would have went live and tried to do something, try to show you guys. But yeah, I had my son, went with my wife, so it was fun. It was back at home when we started doing the beginning of the Wolf of Wall Street, the oh man, like it was so loud. I was just like I just stopped for a second and just like took it in, just like, man, this is so cool. Just to be in your city and enjoy it. If it's your favorite sport or if it's not your favorite sport. But I'm thankful for it, man, and I'm ready to be back this Saturday. So we'll see all you guys this weekend. If you're traveling, safe travels. To everybody who listens to us, thank you so much for all your faithfulness to us, because I know how consistent you guys are on listening to us. I always see the same numbers. Like I say, I did have a few fans, or not fans, but few friends now to come up to us and say, "Hey, you're RB, you're RB." Like, yeah, man, I'm RB. They introduced themselves to me, so that was really cool to have people come up to me and tell me that the show is cool. They told me that the show is cool whenever my audio works. So just gotta. I promise the laptop is coming soon.
Between you and Sam, I don't know who has more trouble, but we're working on that.
Yeah, hey, it'll be once all that's out the back window, y'all are gonna miss it. I'm gonna be like, man, this show is not even the same. So, no, but please, guys, subscribe, like and share. Tell everybody about us. We're trying to get more coverage all around Texas, trying to get these stadiums filled. That's the ultimate goal, is to get everybody involved in whatever club is in your city, closest to your city. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. You got Harry right there at Ram Call. You got me right here at the RB22. You got Sam at Sam's. I can't remember. What's your handle, Sam, on Twitter?
At SM underscore HTX underscore.
HTX underscore.
Boom. All right, y'all. So we'll see you next week. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'm your host, RB22.
And I'm Harry out of San Antonio.
And Sam
And
from
that's Sam
Houston.
out of Houston.
Boom. There you go. Hey, he had it. He had it, man. You got to give him some time, man. You got to give him a chance.
It's delayed.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next week, guys. Stay better than my friends.
You're waiting for Dallas.